Push-ups, great exercise to do in fact. So great, I actually don't like them very much, but I do them, and I'm going to show you how to get stronger at doing a push-up and maybe even getting your first push-up on your toes. For some of you, you may need to start off doing your push-up on the wall. I would say look at doing 3 to 5 sets up to 20 to 30 reps. Okay, in terms of getting volume in and practice, and also a bit of conditioning through the wrists. So, here's a good starting point for some of you. I should say this actually, push-up position with hands. I would get people to stand just like so, and just sort of pump the air like that. I think that's a reasonable position. It's sort of level with the center of my chest. You can push up like this. I just don't think it's great on the shoulders. See how my shoulders drop down a little bit there? So just pumping the air and not having your elbows too tucked in, okay? So just try that before you do anything else. Wall push up, get on toes, do that thing that I just showed you. So you might need to adjust your hands just a little bit to try and mimic that position. This might be enough for some of you to start off with. Once you feel pretty strong at that, our next progression from there would be doing on a bench. So it can be any bench, all right? This is a bit narrow. I probably need something a bit wider, but just to show you, okay? I'm going to come down here and then back up. Now, I want you to notice that I'm up on my toes. I'm trying to keep my body straight so I'm not sinking through the hip. So you might need to tuck your pelvis a bit. But notice how I'm not going all the way down. That might be what you need to do for a while. All right? So going to the depth that you can handle. Once again, 3 sets maybe even more, 20 to 30 reps. Now, if you do want to achieve your first push-up, full range, and you've never done it before, this is something that you're going to need to practice quite often. So initially, just do a little bit. Once, again, you start getting used to things, you might need to look at doing this on the daily. Now, I'm not saying turning it into massive workouts, just do it incidentally, all right? Just try and get in a few sets, whether it be in the morning before you go to work, if there's some possible way to do it at work at a bench somewhere, just to do a few reps, nothing over the top, and then obviously after work. On the weekends, you'll have more of an opportunity just to, I'm pretty sure Pavel, the guy that sort of brought the RKC to the United States, talks about this concept called greasing the groove. Say on a Saturday, you might want to try and do some push-ups in the morning, then a few hours later just a few again, and just doing a few small sets during the day to try and get your body accustomed to it. That's how I want you to think. That's what I'd get people to do if they were trying to achieve something like their first chin-up. So just think about doing little bits and adding volume. You get used to something like this at this height. With this bench, you do it on a lower bench. Once again, on your toes to try and engage your core. All right? I'll show you the next bit to get used to the bottom of the push-up. I've heard of trainers talk about making sure that you do your push-ups on your toes if you want to get your first push-up out, which is good, I understand, because you're trying to use your full body. It's not just your chest doing the work, you're trying to engage all your muscles. But having said that, I do think it's good to try and practice the bottom range of your push-up. So going to your knees might help you out with that. You will have to get generous volume once again. We're looking, I reckon, 15 to 20 or even 20 plus reps in this bottom range of your push-up. Okay? The other exercises before you, we worked on sort of coming to here, whereas this one, you're trying to work at getting strong at this bottom range. So doing push-ups on your knees as an addition to doing it on your toes on an incline is going to help you get there. Once you feel like you're pretty strong on that incline, getting pretty strong on your toes, on your knees, getting that bottom range depth, that's maybe where you go to this option here. All right, this option here though is on your toes, working to the depth that you can handle. You'll notice that I'm not going all the way down. Again, getting those sets of three sets of 15 to 20, if not more reps, until you find yourself really, really strong in that range. Once you've done that for a while, start experimenting with that full range push-up. Give it a shot. So hopefully, after having done several weeks of all those things I've spoken to you about, here, getting your full range. 2 push-ups. Not a whole heap there, but if that's what you can do, and it's the first time on your toes, even if it's 1, that's great. From there, that's when you start practicing just doing singular push-ups when you can. So there's some guidance on push-up progressions. You want to push up, it's just one of those exercises that's going to take a bit of focus, a bit of time, and obviously a bit of repetition.